Lord, you take control. And if you are in control, well, I'm alright. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. Well, I'm alright. Well, I'm alright now. Well, I'm okay. God is good, though. Yes, He is. Well, I'm alright. How you feeling this morning? Yeah. Don't let the stresses of this world make you forget who's the stresser of this world. I bet all the diamonds in this world won't call on God and He's gonna disturb everything that the enemy plots and try to bring. God is the light in the lightning. He is the reason when things go wrong. I sing, but I'm alright. I'm good. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm alright. Well, I'm alright now. Are you okay? I mean, say God is good, though. Yes, He is. Well, I'm alright now. Easy to on the show.
How you feeling this morning, Jay?
Yeah, man, I feel good. Thank you for having me. It's been a while. I greet
know
you.
saying welcome back. Is it Happy New Year and all that good stuff?
Yes, I greet you in the matchless name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He's alive and He's well. Good morning.
How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm good, you know.
You all right?
Losing a little weight, feeling. I'm getting back there.
All right.
Yes.
All right. How things have been since the pandemic? And
well, you know what? The pandemic, I feel, of course, affected people differently.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what affected you.
In terms of music, as an artist, everything pack up.
Right.
But then guess what, Rockers? Your giftings, you know, it gave persons an opportunity to look inside and explore giftings that God may have given you, and it didn't really recognize it.
One of those things that I think you recognize during the pandemic is that you're an influencer.
Yes. So I really went, I really dived into that. I couldn't do it without, of course, my wife, my beautiful wife, Nisa, she's here. And we really put pen to paper, and we came up with something that I was always doing over the 20 years while I was traveling, singing. Yeah. I always had a camera in my hand. So, just like how God told Moses, he said, what in your hand? So I used the camera, and that really opened up a platform for us to do what we love and even have a second stream of income.
Yeah, how was that experience though? Because I mean, being a performer, yes, you're accustomed to being in the limelight and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And you said over the years you've had a camera with you all the time, so you're accustomed documenting what you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people oftentimes, I see some of your videos and you catch some good kicks sometimes, right. You showcase something sometimes. But in terms of being a social media influencer, like that's a very targeted thing. When you start claiming that, looking for, like you mentioned, a second stream of income or another stream of income that says, pay me to do this particular service.
Right.
How has that experience been translating from music primarily to that?
Well, I like how you said primarily because I'm still doing music, but it was an easy transition for me because I was always, as you say, when influencing people into positivity, influencing them into getting closer to God. So now it was just having the camera and allowing people to see, life through my eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just another opportunity to just do what I love doing.
Do you ever have a conflict in terms of what the brand you might be paid to do wants you to do versus your moral and ethical compass when it comes to the content that you're producing?
Yeah, nice. I love that. So I would not, and then people know me because I'm out here a while.
Yeah.
So certain brands understand what I stand for, and they may not come, with a particular product or brand to
But it was
to
not somebody
market.
that just jump out themselves, and hope for the best.
Well, I've not really met anybody who come to say, all right, well, we know what we stand for. And even if they come, I would say, listen, it's not that I against anybody else's belief or whatever. It's just this is what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's been working out for you so far.
Excellent. I've been really, really blessed to work with a lot of corporate companies and, different, a slew of young entrepreneurs and young businesses, and we just love working with them.
Nice. And tell me about your experience now podcasting and TV hosting. I see you have all that on your resume now.
My wife and myself, shout out to Nisa again, we have a podcast. It's called Friday Can Lime. It's every Saturday, 7:30 p.m. And we basically deal with relationship issues. I mean, you know, whether you're Christian or not, relationships are relationships and people go through different things. So we look to just talk about it on the lighter side.
Right.
You understand? And it's, you know, hear people experiences.
What have you learned so far during this podcast?
I've learned that a lot of people go through the same things. If you, where was the camera? If you're looking and you feel like you're the only person that's going through something so crazy, there's somebody else that's going through the same thing. So that platform is more or less to let people know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, and we just more or less encourage everybody.
Are you able to solve any problems? Like, you know, people come up with, like I say, everybody have a similar challenge, right? And they're going through the same problems, or similar problems, I should say. Have you been able to say, all right, we can fix some of these problems if you just listen to what other people have to say as well?
Right. So it's like a community.
Right.
All right. So persons who have been through or have experience, they would call in or they might type, and we just encourage it. But encouraging people, but on a professional level, to say like we have counselors and stuff, we're not there yet. You know, it's just a community-based type of a.
But I mean, that's the old school way. Before we even had, you know, people who were trained in this profession, the community would come together to solve some of these problems. By the same thing you're saying, is like, this is how we got through it. And maybe I can work for you, or maybe somebody else has another remedy that you can do. So I want to applaud you and Lisa for that podcast that you guys are doing, because I think it's one of those conversations that people don't really have very often. Honest relationship conversations.
And then because too, we are, Christians, normally a lot of topics they don't deal with in the church.
Why is that, Jadee? Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Hallelujah. I believe that the church tries to protect.
Protect what?
You know, but what I'm saying is it's a protection. You know what I mean? So if you have a serious issue, you go for counseling.
Right.
But generally, there are certain topics that a little taboo. So we tend to really push the envelope and be as real as we are. And deal with things that, it's just not, they just don't deal with it. I should have asked the
Archbishop yesterday, but we wasn't talking about that. So I want to know, like, why are certain topics taboo? Like, why is it that we can't discuss honest relationship things when it comes to the church perspective?
Yeah. So I believe, again, a bishop might be able to really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we was talking about Lent yesterday.
But we are. What you see is what you get with us. My wife and myself, we've been through so much. We're not ashamed of our testimony. She's unfortunately divorced twice. I'm divorced once. That's another topic that, very
that's taboo as well, yeah.
Very taboo. So we just be as open, because we know there's so many Christian people and even not Christian people that suffer that and, don't have an opportunity to just say, hey, God is able to restore and to forgive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And did that ever, in your own experience with your divorce, did you feel as though you were feeling God at that moment in time? Because you would have gone before God and say, till death do us part. And then you come down and say, well, this isn't really working anymore.
Right.
Did you feel as though you were having a moral crisis at that point?
Yeah, I think every person at some point feels like they fail God, because that's a journey, No one is perfect. So at that point, at a particular stage, I felt like, but I always remember that He is a God of second chances. As a matter of fact, my wife and I were talking about Samson, and people really don't know the story about Samson. That man was a crazy man.
Yeah.
You understand? But he's in the Hall of Fame of faith because God was anointed him, even when he was going through all his issues and his problems, you know what I mean? So hearing stories and being reminded stories like that in the Bible, it really makes you feel like, hey,
you're all right.
Who are we?
And you're going to be all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jadee joins us on the Now Morning. She's going to close off for us, giving us another piece of the song, I'm All Right. But I want to remind each and every one of you to go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire. And if together we perspire, then together we definitely can achieve. On behalf of Natasha Lake, Kimberly D'Souza, the entire team here at TTT Amarokas, wishing you a fantastic Tuesday. And remember, you are right too.
Yeah.
Jadee,
well, if it's trouble when I wake up in the morning, God, you wait. I may say yes, I say God, you. Well, yeah, God, you win. Listen, Mr. Man, if it's trouble when you wake up in the evening, God, you wake up. I'm a God, you take control. And if you are in control, I'm alright. Yes, I'm okay. Well, I'm alright now. I'm okay. You are alright. You will be okay. Yes, you will be okay. I'm alright now. I'm okay. Boom. Don't let the stresses of this world make you forget who's the stressor of this world. I bet all the diamonds in this world, one call on God and he's gonna disturb everything that the enemy plots and try to bring. God, if you're looking at this right now, I wanna let you know something. Everything will be okay, cause you're alright. I'm good, I'm okay. Yeah, you're good, I'm alright. Well, I'm alright now. Well, I'm okay. God is good. Well, God is good, though. Yes, He is. Well, I'm alright now. I'm okay. Yeah, this now.